I'm Ollie, I'm from London, I'm 13.
So, I think you've researched pretty much your sort of like family history, haven't you?
My father's side, yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, my grandfather and his family lived in Poland, which is actually now part of Russia. And his family had been living there for a while, and that's where my grandfather was born. But in 1939, his grandfather, so my great-grandfather, who was called Ely, he was in the Polish army, and he was a tailor though. And he saw what was happening to Poland and the Nazis and everything, and he told his wife, who was called Paula, to take Zalman and try to escape to Palestine, which is now Israel. And he stayed with the army, and they lost touch, so they didn't know what happened to each other. And then Ely was captured by the Nazis and sent to Auschwitz, but because he was, luckily for him, because he was a tailor and he was fit, he could do jobs for them, and he tailored their clothes and he worked in a bakery and stuff like that, so they kept him alive. And then, well, it wasn't a nice experience for him. And then in 1945, the Americans freed him, and he tried to get to Palestine. And when he got there, he couldn't find Paula or Zalman, so he assumed they were dead. But actually, they were living in Cyprus because, well, Palestine was now, when he got there, it was Israel, being turned into Israel. And they were living, Paula and Zalman were living in Cyprus, because when they tried to get there, they had been denied by the British. So they also thought he was dead. So, but then in 1948, when the new state of Israel was, started, they tried to get in and they succeeded. And they found Ely in a register for survivors of the war. And because he then fought in the Israeli War of Independence, he was entitled to a house, and they all lived there together. But sadly, after his experiences in Auschwitz, he was just not the same. So he and Paula separated, and he went to live in London. But my grandfather stayed in Israel, and he married my grandmother, and my dad was born. And then he was also in the army, and he fought in the Lebanon War, and after that he came to England. And that's where I'm from.